That's better. What up, witches and bitches? I wanted to make this video today because I just feel like, first of all, I hope that the lighting and all of the everything, the angle and clarity, I hope all of that is good. Because I literally have the camera like across the table from me, so I have to do all that to like adjust it or get up and do all that, and I just don't want to. So fingers crossed that we are appropriately everything. I wanted to make this video today because I feel like it's about time. It has been quite a while, at least I feel, since I've like sat down and updated you guys on life and just kind of allowed you guys to be fully, like, to understand and put the pieces together, because I 100% recognize that through the course of my channel throughout the past, like, basically since I had Harley 5 years ago, my channel has kind of gone through ebbs and flows and like finding my identity, expressing my identity differently, and that is honestly just how my experience has been, being a mom, being a human, going through 2020 right alongside you guys. And then TikTok, I had a spiritual awakening, and then I kind of went semi-viral, not really, on TikTok. I had a upsurge in followers basically. So let me just take a moment to make this make sense for you guys. I'm gonna give you guys a little life update, get you guys caught up to what my life has been. I know that the videos that I've been posting throughout this time span have given you a glimpse of what exactly has been going on in my life, but I wanted to make like an actual video where I'm putting the pieces together and making it make sense for you, and also giving you guys an idea of what to expect moving forward with this channel, because now I feel like I'm finally in a place in my life where I can take the time to talk to you guys about, you know, what's going on instead of being in such a survival mode energy. We're still in Mercury retrograde, and the full moon in Aquarius just happened. Today is August 21st, if you were curious. Anyways, let's do life update while we pack a cone. So, after I had Harley in May of 2019, I went down that same crazy 2020 rabbit hole of TikTok right along with all y'all, and in doing so, I went to some scary places mentally and emotionally, as I'm sure most of you can relate. And one of those things was realizing that my family and myself did not have aligning morals, which was really heartbreaking. Like, honestly, that was what caused my spiritual awakening, is recognizing that this person in my life that I thought was so like integral to to my identity, my personal like family experience and all of that, to find out that they were not as strong-willed, strong-minded, powerful, independent thinker, like that was not the case. Essentially, I'm just trying to say that I found out that they not only supported Trump, but also there were some additional beliefs that I was like, bitch, what? How? So that like shattered me, and in doing so, I just kind of looked at my entire life and was like, what are we doing this for? I'm seeing protests and war and genocides and pandemics and like all of this shit, and I was just like, there's gotta be more to life. So anyways, in that time, I also got reacquainted with my best friends from high school, who were the ones that actually introduced tarot to me in the first place. It was a very cool little moment where, you know, you're 16 and you're just hanging out at your best friend's house, and then your gay best friend and your other queer best friend look at you and go, we're witches. And I was like, okay. And then I learned about tarot and spirituality and astrology and all of those things, which, bitch, I'm Pisces, sun, moon, north node, Venus, like all of those things. So spirituality and being in the clouds and connecting to the other side has always been something that's been a part of my life, but I never really harnessed it or learned anything about it or did anything like that until I got reacquainted with those best friends. And they came to visit, and one of them brought their tarot deck, and while they were giving me a reading, I just felt this pull to the cards, and I was like, can I read for you? And the rest, as they say, is herstory. I instantly connected to the cards, and it was in that moment that I was like, okay, I'm buying myself a deck. Like, I'm gonna get a tarot deck. And because I had the following on social media already, which, by the way, if you're not following me on Instagram, fix that shit, because I am most active on Instagram at JessieRetro readings. There's a link in the description of this video, but that is where I post weekly energy reads. I go live on there and do readings. I do the most over there. But anyways, so I decided I was going to practice, and I offered free readings, and I realized, holy shit, I'm actually really good at this. And the things, like, I just be knowing shit, which is also called claircognizance or claircognizance. I just be knowing shit. I found out I was a medium. It really is just one of those things of like trusting your intuition, saying things out loud, and then getting that confirmation of like, oh fuck, my intuition was right, and the cards really are lining up, and the advice that I'm giving is actually helpful, and like all of this kind of stuff. So it just opened my mind to so much more, and I recognized, I finally felt like a soul calling, rather than, you know, previously on my channel I would post fashion and, you know, vlogs and things like that, but it kind of, like, the fashion for sure felt very superficial, especially going into the world of others who also, like, making friends in that social media group that were posting about their clothes and everything like that. And I would start to see the facade of it all, the bullshit of it all, the bullshit of the people, the companies, the strategies, the everything. I was just like, I don't want it, I don't care. And so that's kind of why you saw me pulling away nearing the end of me posting about, you know, plus size fashion and that kind of stuff. I just felt so, what's the word? I keep wanting to say disingenuous, but that isn't the word. Like, what I realized is that the industry that I was working in, all that kind of stuff was disingenuous, and I didn't like that. So I decided to pull away, and then I found out I was pregnant and yada yada yada. Anyways, so back to me recognizing, holy shit, I can do this and I really like it. Then I started learning about like manifestation and all of these things. Meanwhile, I'm still offering readings to people and still realizing, oh shit, I'm actually helping people, and, you know, slowly unintentionally building a business from it. And I learned about, you know, manifestation, and one of the things that I first wrote down in my little manifestation journal was that I'm a professional tarot reader. I help others heal through my own healing, and I support my family through what it is that I do, and like all this kind of stuff. Well, that turned out to be true. My manifestations came real, and I unintentionally went quasi viral on TikTok. I could make a whole other video about my experience as a tarot reader on TikTok, but essentially I learned a lot about myself, and eventually I ended up reading for people in person. So picture this, Fresno 2021, and I'm a first-time mom building a business I didn't realize I was building. I was just kind of doing what I felt called to do. And family goes to the swap meet, and I see this little crystal pop-up thing where they're selling crystals and other such things. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna make this like a personal challenge to go up and to, holy fuck, there's a dog walker that has like, I'm not kidding, like 10 dogs on a leash. Good luck. Good luck. You know, but yeah, so I go up to them and I have like this personal challenge of like, all right, I'm a tarot reader. I am a tarot reader. And so I just, again, like personal challenge, went up to them and was like, hey, so I am a tarot reader and I want to know what it is that you suggest in order to kind of cleanse the space in between readings. And that sound bowl that I was using in my Aquarius full moon ritual, the Moon Magic Witchy vlog that I just posted, that sound bowl that I'm using is the one that I got from the moon room, which is the story that I'm telling you guys about when I met them. So anyways, they ended up telling me like, oh, we're about to open up our first shop, our first brick and mortar. Long story short, they invited me to read for people in person. That was my first time doing that, aside from, you know, reading for friends and family and shit like that. I'm a Gemini rising and it's Mercury retrograde right now, so I'm sorry if this is a lot of jumbled thoughts, but bitch, what do you expect? That opened me up to a whole new experience of in-person work. And then they offered me an opportunity to teach a tarot class. And that's when I was like, oh fuck, I gotta learn what these cards actually mean instead of just being an intuitive reader and developing my intuition and my psychic ability. I was like, all right, if I'm gonna teach these people, I need to know what these cards mean. And when I taught my first class, it just like straight up, I like fucking blacked out because it was such a moment of like, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is it. Like I've never felt so aligned, alive, all that good stuff. And because of that, I was just like, I have no desire to keep showing up on social media the way that I had been in the past. Also, side note, I started, dog fight. Can you hear it? I hope they're okay. There's a dog park up ahead. Anyways, the humans don't seem to be too concerned. So yeah, I started an OnlyFans because during that time I also had this realization that all of my sexual experiences were ones where I was coerced or didn't want to, or, you know, that whole thing. And I was like, well, no wonder I felt so disconnected from my body for so long, because quite literally, like, I disassociated from my body for so long in so many ways that were deeply in my subconscious that, anyways, when I had that realization, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do OnlyFans and I'm going to come back to my body and I'm gonna celebrate my body and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, I was promoting that, or like mentioning that whole thing on TikTok. And then without warning, my account got banned. Like, not just straight up deleted, your account's gone. And I had like over 60,000 followers. And like I said, I had that little viral moment. So I was picking up a little bit of pace, but that like swooped it right out from under me. But it was right at that time where I was like, well, I feel this deep calling to show up in person for my community. And now Spirit just swooped away my my online presence. So I mean, I take everything as a sign from Spirit. So when that happened, I was like, okay, we're leaning full force into just showing up in person. Are these little squirrelies and chipmunks eating leaves in front of me? Wow, there's literally one on the other side of the camera. Oh, and climbing the tree. Hello everyone. I'm gonna turn it around, see if you guys can see. Down over there. They're everywhere, babes. And then there's that dog park I was talking about. We had to change locations. It was getting bright and there were kids and dogs and people and stuff, and we just don't want that right now. So anyways, I think I was just saying how basically I got to a point where I was like, all right, Spirit, clearly I'm being guided to show up in a different way. And so I did. I really focused on my in-person work, and then it got to a point in 2022 where I was losing my fucking mind. At that point, I was building my in-person business, teaching tarot, and like, you guys, if you want to know the intricacies of that, you can check out my older videos. By the way, for those of you who are rolling up right along with me, cheers, let's get it started. Let's get it started, huh? Let's get it started in here. I was building up my in-person work, and then I was building up my social media presence again to be able to eventually go live again. And so when I started being able to go live again, that was around the time when Harley was 2-3 years old. There was a lot of personal stuff going on in my life. Went to Colorado to visit my toxic ass family. Terrible decision, but at the same time, like, it really helped me see the conditioning that I had experienced as a child, going back into that environment. But now having a child of my own and being with my partner at the same time, I had like an outsider's take, and I was showing up weird. Like, I was telling Cody not to talk. I was like just a ball of nerves and stress, and it was manifesting in Harley's physical experience because she was dealing with stomach issues. So it was like a lot of stress and concerns and all of that stuff that was going on. And again, like, I was still trying to maintain this sense of building a business, an online presence, an in-person presence, and it was just, I was spreading myself way too fucking thin. Honk, for real. So eventually, when we did come home, Harley was still having her issues. We were trying to get her to potty train, but it was just like, she was dealing with chronic constipation, and I was losing my mind over it. Straight up losing my fucking mind over it. Anyways, there was one point on TikTok where Harley went down for a nap, and that was typically when I did my live streams and I did my readings and stuff. And so I'm in the middle of doing this reading, and I hear Harley going off in her room. So she busts into my room with her little porta potty, and she's sitting there as I'm like live on the camera, and she's over here off camera just screaming, "I'm sorry, mommy, I'm sorry," because she's a Gemini. She's a very high-strung individual, and anyway, so she was going off about that, and I'm trying to finish a reading that I'm in the middle of, and I'm navigating all of this at the same time. And I'm just like, after that reading, I got off the live, and I was just in this place where I was like, shit has to change. Like, something has to change. This cannot keep going. I can't maintain this. This isn't good for heart. Like, this is a fucking breaking point. And so, like, I was talking to my mom, and she's the most high-strung, stressed person I've ever known. And so for her to then at that point tell me, you got to put your mask on first, like, the plane is going down, and they say at those points, put your mask on first. Even if you have a child, put your mask on first, which is something I reference a lot now because it was such an impactful moment for her to tell me that. So I was like, okay, I need to put my mask on first, and so I need you to come get this kid, and I need to just cry and scream. And I was talking to a friend, and they were supporting me through what I now recognize was my sacred rage, was me getting to this breaking point of just being like, I can't. I fucking cannot. I cannot do everything at all times. I can't be the mother that I want to be. I can't be the healer that I'm learning that I am. I can't navigate all of that shit. I can't do it all at the same time. Cody came home from work, and I'm telling him all of these things, and I'm just crying and venting and just communicating all of this shit. And he tells me, well, I fucking hate my job. It's soul crushing. I don't want to do what I'm doing, but I'm doing it because we need to pay bills, period. Like, I don't give a shit about this place. They don't give a shit about it. Was terrible. So it was in that conversation, I remember specifically, it was a Tuesday, because I was learning about like planetary, like the days and the planets, that what planet rules each day, and Mars represents, or Bitch, I'm high. But Mars is connected to Tuesday, the planet of war and destruction, and like the phoenix energy is what I associate it with. It was very symbolic of that sacred rage that I was experiencing. From that conversation, Cody was like, okay, if you're making this much money a month and you're only able to do it during Harley's nap time, and we have this much money saved, and at the time we were also trying to buy a house, and we were doing it Dave Ramsey style, so it was all of these limitations that I just felt so fucking restricted and so stifled. There's so many rules on everything, it felt like, in my life that I just... Anyways, so end of that conversation, we come to the conclusion that he's going to quit his job and I'm going to go full-time into being a tarot reader and teaching and doing all of these things and just allowing myself to let that evolve. And bitch, oh my God, like when I started that conversation, I didn't know that that's how, like, where we would end up, but I was petrified and so excited and so relieved because I just felt like my soul felt like it could exhale. Like, oh my God, yes, that part. So I did. I did that, and from then on I was just like, just lean hard into my connection with my spirit guides and lean hard into just saying yes and exploring and taking on every opportunity and just growing. And I'm such a fucking hermit. Like, I'm not originally from the Central Valley, so moving here I didn't really have people in my life aside from my husband and like his friends and shit. I just allowed myself to jump into the deep end. I was like, fuck it. Literally like a day or so later, which by the way, he ended up quitting his job 2 weeks later. So I can get into all of those details of like what being in the in-between feels like, and spiritually what guidance I received and like how I navigated all that shit. If you're interested, this is a long video, but I just feel it necessary, and I know that it will reach who it's meant to reach. I know that whoever needs to hear what I'm saying or relates in any capacity, that they will find this video. I trust that. So it'll be really cool to see what comes of all of this, because I felt really inspired with this Aquarius full moon to just open up, because now, fast forward to this point, now I'm in another transitional place where Cody has taken a job, and so that's taken a lot of financial pressure off of me, which bitch I fucking needed, because like I was doing the absolute most. Like with Queen Herbie, when she says, you know what, I think I've been too eager, used to try too hard, but that karma been my teacher. You know what, my higher self's a baddie, you should meet her. We've been rolling tag team, grabbing on your speakers. You know I'm doing what I want, doing what I need. Oh, by the way, I'm like grounding right now. No wonder this feels amazing. I'm barefoot on the grass. I needed this. Holy shit. Holy bitch. Okay, anyways. I learned a lot. In those 2 years of doing it on my own. I learned how capable I actually am, because bitch, when you don't have a fucking choice, like, let's get all the way real, because I know that there are so many people that can resonate with this bit at the very least. When you don't have a fucking choice but to pay your motherfucking bills and you have a kid, whoa, it's like you're a business owner. Your money is the only money coming in. You're starting a brand new business. I also got a business coach, which that was a big trust leap financially, and also now I know I'm a manifester. If you know anything about human design, you know. If you know, you know. Basically, I get angry when somebody tells me what to do. And when I say I was doing the most, and this was me just saying yes to every opportunity and me just learning myself and recognizing that, again, my money is the only money. I was also learning about my money wounds and healing all of that and doing all of the shadow work, practicing what I preach, all of that shit. I was in the thick of it, ho. And also just learning about myself in community. Because eventually I felt the call. I think that license plate was 777. I've been seeing that a lot too, which has been pretty awesome. I felt called to host full moon ceremonies, which was fucking amazing. And then I met this incredible individual that eventually became my business partner. And alongside her, we did new moon ceremonies as well. And then I did a New Year's Eve rave that was a combination of holistic healing. We had sound baths and Reiki healers and massage therapists and all that kind of stuff in these separate rooms. It was so fucking cool. Like, when I say I did the most, I fucking did the most. I became an event planner and a moon ceremony hostess and an energy worker and a medium. Like, I said yes, and then I watched myself do it because I had no other choice but to. Because financially speaking and just bigger picture, this is the way, you know? And so pushing myself so hard for so long, I couldn't make space for social media the way that I wanted to, because like I was doing multiple events, plus I was vending on top of that, like showing up every weekend somewhere. I offer spell kits. Like, I'm doing the absolute fucking most, you know? And I'm mentoring on top of that. And again, that's a product of me just saying yes. And now that I don't have that financial pressure on myself anymore because of Cody getting this incredible fucking job, and Harley is now in school. She started kindergarten. It's opened me up to be able to fucking breathe again. Like, for real breathe. Not just like putting the mask on and breathing in that mask, but the mask can come off. Like, in so many different ways the mask can come off, and I'm just really excited for that. And a lot of that is essentially, I know that what I've built thus far, I want to evolve again, and I'm ready to, and the energy feels perfect for that. So, damn, editing this is gonna be a trip. I just went on a whole thing, but it was necessary. I feel it necessary to talk on the things that I'm talking on. So while I know this is a long video and I'm not really making eye contact, I hope y'all are enjoying this space with me and just whatever, maybe have me in the background someplace. So the changes that I want to make with this channel, how I'm showing up for myself and for my community, I want to make YouTube more of a priority than I was before. I really want to show up in this way that's like, feels like I'm coming home in a sense, and revisiting a part of myself that needs the healing, and I need to allow myself to just be vulnerable in this space again, because I realize that I haven't really been vulnerable because I was so in that, you know, breathing in the mask. So now that I'm in this place where I can take the mask off, I want to be more present on this channel. And what that means is I want to show up again with my moon ceremonies. Oh, I'm so excited. That last vlog that I did where I was filming my own moon ritual was so aligned with what just feels good for me. Hydration, ladies and gentlemen, and theys and thems and all that stuff. Water. Like I said, I used to host in-person full moon ceremonies, new moon ceremonies. So I take that into consideration when I'm filming my own moon rituals. I want to continue educating and sharing and healing and opening up and unmasking and unveiling and all that shit, and just reminding myself and others that we are all connected. For me, I also recognized in my healing that I am such a fucking hermit. I love being a hermit, and this allows me to still honor that truth of myself and still show up for my community. I'm still offering like in-person work, but it's more on a personal one-on-one level rather than a group setting. It might change in the future, but whatever. I want to go about filming my moon rituals and include you guys in on it, and kind of unveil when someone just like you is experiencing the same energies that you're experiencing, and knowing how to navigate that. Well, can I help you? This woman's just like walking and like staring. I'm getting so distracted. Give me 1 second. You can expect, at least starting off, full moon ritual, witchy vlogs, and that kind of stuff. Miss Karen. I don't know if she's back there. Yep, there's Miss Karen. Probably smelled the weed and is being a fucking so-and-so about it. Okay, we changed locations, and also I had a bit of an accident with the microphone. There was a mount on the tippity top that, yeah. But I'm pretty sure that there is another one at home. Bitch, fingers crossed. Anyways, so Miss Karen at the park, I saw her on the phone, so I was just like, I am not taking any chances, and I cleaned my shit up and I dipped. So now we're just at the Trader Joe's parking lot. I parked in a really bad spot because I was like, oh, the aesthetic, it'll be like a cute background, but I'm currently like cooking right now. Let's get back on track here. I'm going to have my full moon rituals, and eventually we'll have new moon rituals available on this channel. I'm also going to include tarot readings, and those tarot readings is where I'll kind of evolve and get kind of curious in the energy. I don't really have like a set topic that I'm gonna focus in on. It might align with the moons again and like do a full moon and new moon reading. It might be pick a cards, it might be current topics, it might be one of you guys, who fucking knows. But as far as live streams go, that is going to be on Instagram. Instagram is really where I show up on a regular basis. That's where I built my community that I was building in person, and that Instagram is always linked in the description of the videos. It's JessieRetro readings. There are some scam accounts out there of me, so make sure that you have the right one. I genuinely hope the audio is okay with this video, because if I'm screaming, I'll fix the levels somehow, because I don't want to re-record this. I want to be in flow, bitch. On Instagram, every Sunday, I post week ahead spreads, which is like a weekly energy check, what to expect in the coming week. And I also go live on there doing readings and all of that good stuff. And like I said, it's just where I show up more regularly, and I am on my stories always showing up and sharing and all that good things. So if you're not already following me on Instagram, fix that, get on Instagram. All of this to say that I'm going to be showing up on here, and I'm excited too, because I'm ready. I'm in a place where I have the time, the energy, the resources. I have no fucking excuse, and I have all of the calling. So I trust that there are those out there that are in alignment with me and will enjoy the readings and the energy work and the rituals and all of that fun witchy awesomeness right along with me. And for those of you who, you know, I didn't sign up for that shit, bitch. It's been nice knowing you. Have a good rest of your life. That's it. I'm gonna hush up now. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one, you can find out how to do so on my website, JessieRetroReadings.com, which is linked in the description of this video. But until next time, if they ain't paying your bills, pay them no mind. Check you later.